Hello everybody, I'm Ram Rakshitwi. Welcome to the second episode of the NSoJ News House. Let us glance at the stories for the show. The Centre's new regulations on the OTT platforms and digital media. First of a kind AC railway station in Bengaluru, which is on the verge of completion. Kamal Haasan's political entry in poll-bound Tamil Nadu. The Mullaperiyar Dam issue between Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the change in museum culture in Karnataka, and finally, a human interest story on Mr Gowtham Shravan Kumar, who is a stand-up comedian in Karnataka. So let us begin with the show. The Union Government has notified a set of new rules for digital news publishers and OTT platforms. The new rules aims to bring online news published under the same regulations as the traditional media publishers such as news channels or newspapers. These rules will apply to social media platforms such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and OTT platforms including Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Hotstar, and several others. The government plans to put in place an institutional mechanism for following a code of ethics by over-the-top players and redressal any grievances in this regard. Over to our reporter Virginia, who has covered a panel discussion about this matter at UVC Alumni Association, Bengaluru.
Are you aware of the Centre's new internet regulation that have been recently passed out? I am here at Alumni Association of UVC in KR Circle, Bengaluru. This event is being organized by All India People's Forum. The moderator for this event is Ms. Avni Chokshi from AIPF. The panelists for this discussion are Ms. Danya Rajendran, the editor of News Minute, the human rights activist Mr. Shivasundar, and a Mangalore-based journalist Mr. Naveen Siroji. Now, let us hear from the panelists on what is their take on the Centre's new internet regulation.
Now, my big problem is with the way the government has sort of formulated this narrative. The government is saying two important things. One, digital media in India has no control. They are basically uncontrolled, uncouth people walking around. So let's have some control over digital media. The second thing which the government says is TV and print have such control, so why not digital media? Now to someone who does not understand the nuance, that sounds fine, right? Like if TV and print is controlled, why not digital media? I'll just quickly explain why. So, the first thing is digital media very much functions under the Indian Constitution. Whatever restrictions the press in India has under Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, it is all applicable to digital media. I run a website called the News Minute. Suddenly today I can't write a story derogatory and defamatory about anyone I want. Because I am liable under every law, every criminal law, laws of defamation, laws of hate speech, everything. People can sue me, people can take it to court, they can file a police case against me.
After hearing what the panelists have to say, there was an interactive session which consisted of questions, discussions, and opinions of people who came from different professions in order to know how one can raise their voice on such issues.
All the independent media houses should come together unitedly, go through legal way, whichever way, go to protest on Google, Facebook, Twitter offices and also on the ISD Ministry office and really go in a big way. Because that's the only way I feel at the moment. Because otherwise, this was something which we were expecting sooner or later to be happening.
Hope you all had some insightful takeaways from the panel discussion, which was on the Centre's new OTT regulation.
Thank you, Virginia, for the report. The Indian Railway is all set to inaugurate the country's first ever centralized air-conditioned terminal in Bengaluru. Named as Sir M. Visvesvaraya Terminal, the railway station will be provided with enhanced passenger amenities, adequate parking spaces, beautiful landscape, and infrastructure. Now, our reporter Adlin will provide more information regarding this innovative initiative.
Did you ever imagine railway stations to be like airports, clean and totally centralized air conditioned? Well, your imagination has come true. I am at Sir M. Visvesvaraya Railway Terminal, which is India's first centralized air condition. Let's know more about this.
This station has been named after one of India's foremost civil engineers, Bharat Ratna Sir M. Vishveshwarya. The terminal has been built at an estimated cost of Rs 314 crore and is Bengaluru's third railway terminal in the Bayapanahalli area. It is capable of serving more than 50,000 passengers on a daily basis with 50 trains running on an average per day. The station has well-marked parking space for both 2 and 4-wheelers. It also includes VIP lounge, food court, escalators, lift and foot-over bridge along with 2 subways.
Yes, I know it's very tough to hold in the excitement, but we have to wait until the station starts operating. From National School of Journalism, this is Adlan Bhanaminj with Ram Rakshit.
Thank you, Adlan, for the report. Let us now move on to the political battle in Tamil Nadu. This actor-turned-politician is leaving no stone unturned to make a mark in the upcoming fiercely competitive elections in the Dravidian-ruled state. With high-profile parties such as the DMK and the AIADMK fighting for the top seat, Kamal Haasan is trying to grab the attention of the voters with his political agendas and dialogues. Over to our reporter Virginia for a detailed analysis.
Kamal Haasan is known as the Ulaga Nayagan or the pioneer of Tamil film industry. The entertainer is now all set to launch himself as the Nayagan or the leader of Tamil Nadu politics. The problem is, people want him to act, sing and dance while on stage. They insist on him delivering dialogues in various accents. You don't believe me? Watch this.
இல்லைங்க, நான் நடிக்க வரல. அவர் சினிமா ரசிகர். இந்த படத்தில் பேசுறீங்கள, அது சதியில் பேசுகிற மாதிரி கோவை பாஷையில் பேசுகிறேன். அது பார்க்கணுன்னா உங்களுக்கு யூடியூப்பில் அந்த சினிமா வரும் பாருங்க. இங்கே உங்களுடைய எதிர்காலத்தை பற்றி பேச வந்திருக்கேன் நான். என்ன இங்கே நடிக்க சொல்லாதீங்க, இங்கே டான்ஸ் ஆட சொல்லாதீங்க, இங்கே பாட சொல்லாதீங்க. அப்படி பாடணும் ஆடணும்னா டிக்கெட் வாங்குங்க.
The president of Makkal Needhi Mayam is diving into the electoral battle from Coimbatore South. He has been vehemently campaigning in the city, commuting in auto rickshaws and holding rallies. Advantages for Kamal are Coimbatore South, which is an AIADMK stronghold, has been handed over to BJP. The AIADMK workers aren't too happy working for a BJP candidate despite them being key alliance partners. Moreover, the AIADMK candidate R. Doraisamy, who won in 2011, is currently contesting on an AMMK ticket. Doraisamy could eat into AIADMK's votes. This could pave way for Kamal's victory. Muslims and Christians in Tamil Nadu form 6 to 7% of the total population, with BJP as a partner. AIADMK could lose its minority votes, which could perhaps land on Kamal's lap. Now, what can go wrong for Kamal? The entertainer is seen as just an entertainer. Kamal Haasan faces his rival Vanidhi Srinivasan, who represents BJP. People in any constituency would require their MLAs to remain accessible. People wonder if the film star will remain in Chennai away from the constituency. Vanidhi has taken the advantage of this assumption, naming him a selfie politician. Actors like Vijaykant joined hands with one of the 2 primary Dravidian parties and made a dramatic entry into politics initially. Others like Sharat Kumar bombed in the political corridors. Kamal Haasan expects to stay victorious as the third alternative in Tamil Nadu politics. If we were to tweak the dialogue from the famous Kamal film Nayagan, we may have to say this: நீங்க ஜெயிப்பீங்களா தோப்பீங்களா? Which means you win or lose, we don't know.
Thank you, Virginia. Regarding the Mullaperiyar Dam controversy between Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the Supreme Court has granted the liberty to serve on the Standing Council for the State of Kerala notice in a plea filed seeking termination of lease deed between the states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu concerning Mullaperiyar Dam. The court has also said that the Tamil Nadu Chief Secretary will be personally responsible and appropriate action will be taken on failure to give information on the rule curve. More information regarding this from our reporter Prateem.
The Mullaperiyar Dam, located in Idukki, Kerala on the confluence of the Mullayar and Periyar rivers, was in headlines again, as the Supreme Court decided to examine a plea regarding the lease deed of the dam. The petitioners, Suraksha Charitable Public Trust, claimed that both Tamil Nadu and Kerala have breached the terms of the lease deed. The trust claims that Tamil Nadu has not carried out constructions of certain safety features in the dam and have failed to carry out necessary repairs to the dam. The plea seeks directions for termination of the lease deed from the top court to the Kerala government. The Tamil Nadu government holds the right to use land and water of the dam and the authority to develop a hydropower project under the lease deed. In return, Kerala would receive rent from Tamil Nadu. The dam remains a subject of controversy since 1979 when the cracks appeared on the surface of the dam.
Thank you for the details, Prateem. Bengaluru has a melange of well-preserved museums that reflect the blend of royal history, science and technology, and the art and culture of Karnataka. The museum culture may be undergoing several changes owing to socio-economic factors, technological advancements in the country, and the COVID-19 pandemic, which had shut the museum doors for many months. Be it arts, science, technology, or music, museums have always been a source of information for all and sundry. Has museum culture changed over the years across the country? Let me take you through some of the unique museums in Bengaluru. Vishveshwaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, Bangalore, is a constituent unit of National Council of Science Museum, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. It was established in memory of Bharat Ratna Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. The museum has 7 permanent exhibition halls and 2 special exhibits, including Engine Hall, Science for Kids, Space Technology Gallery, Science Park, Electrotechnic Gallery, Fun Science, Biotechnological Revolution, and DEL Hall of Electronics.
So looking at these 7 galleries, I would like to tell you that we have covered young children who are less than 8 years to PhDs who are doing their biotechnology activities. So we virtually have everything for the entire stretch of people at this museum. Being a very museum professional, I would say change is always permanent. So when I say change is always permanent, change is part of our society. And as I told you, we are actually an amalgamation of museum and a science center. We just don't take historic objects and just keep it here for display. We don't do that because we bring in the new technologies trying to tell how this technology has changed. This has always attracted people. So that's how we are able to cater to the people. So this itself is a revolution.
सब टूल्स भी वगैरह ऐसे अच्छे लगाए हैं कि हम लोग समझ सके, लेकिन उसमें गाइड्स की ज़रूरत है जो सबको समझा सके कि ये टूल्स में ये है, ये इंजन किस काम में आता है, ये गेयर कैसे चलते हैं.
Reputed to be one of the oldest museums in the country, the Government Museum in Bengaluru is a remarkable treasure trove of archaeological items such as stone carvings, pottery, paintings, coins, and inscriptions. A prominent attraction in this museum is the first ever recorded Kannada inscription, the Halmidi inscription, and Atkur inscription slabs.
ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗಾಗಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 10 ಕೋಟಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ DPR ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಅದರ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ಇದು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಕರೆದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿನ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡರ್ನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮುಖ ವಸ್ತು ಸಂಗ್ರಹಾಲಯವಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಪಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕ್ರಮ ಕೈಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅನುಮತಿ ಬೇಕು. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತು ಸಂಗ್ರಹಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಅನುಮತಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಶಿಲಾಶಾಸನಗಳನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕಾನೂನು ಬಾಹಿರ. ಅದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆನೂ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅನುಮತಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
The Indian Music Experience is India's only interactive music museum. The IME is an initiative of the non-profit Indian Music Experience Trust supported by the Brigade Group. The museum is also an ideal place to experience all things about music, right from discovering various genres, exploring the stories about iconic songs and music makers, marveling at the beautiful musical instruments and artifacts on display, and creating your own music, be it traditional, contemporary, young or old.
Our idea was that when there is so many great legendary artists in our country, why is there not one home of music which celebrates and preserves the music traditions, information about the great musicians, artifacts, musical instruments, and a place that young people can really come and be inspired to learn music, to appreciate music, and to become more creative. I think museums today have to be very active with their online presence so that they can reach out to people irrespective of geography. So we put up our first exhibition on the Google Art and Culture platform, and we have 2 more that we're going to be putting up. We're also creating a 3D virtual walkthrough of the exhibition, which will of the entire exhibit galleries, which will be up on the website very soon.
He is doing is really very wonderful. I have been to some of their programs, and in an open ambience like this, under the trees, shade of trees, and with the air coming, and also with this sound, outside sound, which mixes with this, you find that it is really going to be a very great experience.
In this way, the museums across the city are striving hard to keep the museum culture alive by attracting a good number of visitors. Thank you for the report, Ram. From video editing to anchoring and then to stand-up comedy, the Mysuru-based Mr Gowtham Shravan Kumar has been entertaining people with his witty punchlines while delivering relevant current affairs. Having fought against all odds, he has chosen a path to bring smiles on the faces of his audience. Let us know more about his unique journey from our reporter, Nischita.
From current affairs to films, he can find a way to tickle your funny bone with any subjects. So he is none other than Gowtham Shravan Kumar.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಾಯಿಯ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದರಿಗೆ ಅಂಕಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ಗೆ ಮಾಮ ಅಂತಾರೆ.
In his working place, people had a fear of facing camera, but deep down, everyone had a desire to face the camera. And when Gowtham got an opportunity, he didn't deny like others do. Leaving his mainstreams like news anchoring, he chose his passion and doing absolute justice to his work.
Thank you, Nischita. This week's show has highlighted reports on diverse topics of various relevant issues. Hope everyone has got an understanding of all the 6 news stories that we have covered. Thank you for watching. We will be back with the 3rd episode soon with more such insightful stories. Till then, stay tuned.